When you're looking for perfection in a relationship, you don't want to be perfect. You just want to be present.
What are those red flags that they have to see before they get into a really serious relationship?
They have a pattern of how they live their life. So they always attract the last relationship they already had.
That comes from their previous relationship because they were controlling or they've been controlled by those people.
I have people create a tool in their mind and a metaphor that you can erase it, shake it, and so start from a brand new framework.
Most people, I think, ignore the red flags.
A relationship, any relationship, is respect, acknowledgement, attention, affection, and open communication.
Welcome back to Knowledge Seeker Podcast. I'm your host, Farhan Mirza. So today I'm sitting down with someone who spent decades transforming one of the challenging aspects of life, love and relationship. Dr. Renee Gordon, she's the expert on love and relationship, guiding 3,000 couples finding their love through her innovative process called Love by Design. Also holds a doctorate degree in philosophical theology and advanced human sexuality. She also the author of Finding Your Love at Last and Swipe for Mr. Right. She also appears on the show Doctor and the cover of the New York Times. So what makes her story extraordinary? Before helping thousands finding love, she was engaged 9 times. So from heartbreaks to expertise to now 26 years of loving marriage, that kind of a transformation story you don't want to miss. Dr. Renee, welcome to Knowledge Seeker Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's my honor, actually. You are a very famous person and moved from LA and lived in Beverly Hills and all that. And so let's start. Why first of all, why Chattanooga?
Oh, well, it was divine intervention.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it was divine intervention. Would you like me to tell you how we got here?
Yeah, sure.
So, actually, some of my friends from Beverly Hills have said, "Oh, you're moving from caviar to grits," because Chattanooga is in the South.
Yes.
And so we got here, divine intervention. We were sitting at a Starbucks, my husband and I, having coffee, and the election came when the most recent mayor was elected, and we said we have to get out of Los Angeles, out of Beverly Hills. And so we pulled out a napkin from Starbucks, and Jim wrote a letter to God, and I wrote a letter to God, and said, "God, show us a sign." So in 2 days, 9 signs from God was made aware of us.
Okay.
So a bumper sticker on a car, driving down Wilshire Boulevard, another sign on a billboard. We heard something on a podcast, the name Chattanooga, and went on. And the 9th sign was when I had asked a real estate broker in Chicago, because we were thinking of moving to a high-rise condominium on the 37th floor. It was a 41-floor building. And on the 37th floor was a beautiful condo, corner unit. And we were putting a deposit down in it because we knew we were leaving Los Angeles somehow or another. And so I asked a broker who was very successful, and her husband was a hedge fund manager, and they have 5 homes around the world. And her name was Sally. And I said, "Sally, you have 5 homes around the world, but if you were to sell everything, where would you move to in the entire world?" And she said, "Chattanooga, Tennessee."
Oh, wow.
Chattanooga. So
Did she give you any a reason why the...
I asked her why. I said, "You're the 9th, awareness that a sign in 2 days." And she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Tell me why you say Chattanooga." She said, "Well, they call it the Scenic City." I said, "Yes, I've seen that Scenic City all over." And she said, "It is really beautiful. And the bridges and the river and the people and the culture, and it's different. And it's being built it's the Scenic City. It's like a gigantic park."
Yeah. I think it's a very big leap of faith kind of thing from Beverly Hills, all glamorous and Hollywood and all that, to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yes.
Because people were like, hey, why they move from this place to this place, any certain, but yeah. So that's your final straw that, okay, I'm moving to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So how long you been living here now?
A few years.
Few years?
A few years, yes. And we love the culture and the people and the food and how y'all doing and all that. Yes, ma'am. It's always yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I was
yes.
never called yes, ma'am in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
so
totally different.
the people here are very respectful. So I like that. You know, they
Okay.
open doors for you, and it's Southern hospitality.
Southern hospitality, yes. Yeah, that's what
And
famous
me
for.
being from Hawaii originally, the pineapple is the the global sign for hospitality. Did you know that the pineapple?
No.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
I guess I need to start eating more pineapple now.
No, but people in Hawaii are very hospitable. You know,
Yeah.
come over to my home, have dinner with us, or we always bring food to each other's homes, or we never go to someone's house empty-handed ever. It is considered very rude to go to someone's house without a gift for the hostess.
Yeah. Well, in our culture, it's the same way too. Like, if you're going to meet someone, you have to bring some kind of a sweet
Yes.
or gift or something
gift,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah. So no, yeah. So you're a love relationship expert. You are very famous, and you wrote almost 15 books, right? 14 books.
Actually, this is my 14th book.
This is your 14th
coming out around the
up.
end of April,
Okay.
May, and something like that. And so it's called Strutting Your Stilettos,
Okay.
Walking Boldly.
Okay.
And-
tell us a little bit about this book.
Okay, so
coming
it's strutting your stilettos, walking boldly, living beautifully, from fear to faith.
up. Okay.
And what this book is about women stepping into their confidence, certainty, and perseverance and determination, and not shrinking to fit because of what society says.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dr. Renee, you have wonderful quotes on your book. Would you like to share some with us?
Yes, I would. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. No.
These are from I've written several books, of course, and so because of our conversation, I just pulled a few quotes out
Yes.
that I just have in my iPad. So I hope this all lands with all of you here. The first one is, you don't attract what you want in love. You attract what you're willing to tolerate. Number 2 is, chemistry may start a relationship, but character is what sustains it.
Nice one.
Thank you. So number 3 is, if you keep choosing the same person in a different body, it's not bad luck, it's a pattern.
Oh, I love that. Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
And number 4, love doesn't fail. People fail to bring the skills required to sustain it.
Deep.
Number 5, the quality of your relationship will never exceed the quality of your self-respect.
Wow. These are, and they're all in your different books, correct? Or this is
They're
one
in different,
book?
they're in
books.
different
Okay.
books. Yeah, I probably should do a quote book. I have another short little soundbite. Is, most people are not struggling to find love; they're struggling to recognize healthy love when it shows up, because it feels unfamiliar, and what's familiar is often what's broken. Here's another little short soundbite. High-value women don't have a lack of options; they have a lack of alignment. And once you become clear on what you are and who you are, what you stand for, your choices become obvious. And I'm going to give you one last one.
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. Attention, respect, and communication. Those are not bonuses in a relationship. Those are basics. And when you start treating them like non-negotiables, everything changes.
Wow. Yeah, those are deep quotes. I mean, I appreciate that you're sharing with us. And people who want to know more quotes, you have to buy Dr. Renee book, Swipe for Mr. Right. And the other one is Finding Your Love at Last. And then the future book, which is coming in April, it's called...
Strutting your stilettos.
I can't pronounce that word. I'm sorry.
Stilettos, the real high heels.
High heels, okay.
High heels.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a guy, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't know stilettos. But it's okay. It's
So,
okay.
All the books actually are available on Amazon.
These are available on Amazon. And if, when you come onto the Love Masterclass, I will be offering it to you, as well as I'll sign a
signed copy,
signed
okay.
copy. So when you get on, we'll talk more, and I'd love to help you and give you a signed signed book.
So let's talk about, love and relationship. You see a lot of women, they are successful in their lives and all that, but they are very, I won't say bad, but they can't find a true love and in their life. What do you think is the reason behind that?
Because in their life at the office, let's say somebody who's a boss lady or boss woman running a division or running a company, CEO as a boss lady or a big department, they have everything is certainty in their life. They have their team, they have their subordinates, they know how to manage employees very well, and everything in their life is very controlled. And sometimes when you get into a relationship, they don't lose control, but they don't know how to value that, and their values are not in alignment with what they're looking for.
So do you think it's more like a control issue?
I wouldn't say control, because what I find is a lot of women are are perfectionists, women in that capacity. And when you're looking for perfection in a relationship, you don't want to be perfect. You just want to be present. And that's a distinction.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the main thing that you need to be present. Yeah. So what kind of tools you basically give to a woman who are very successful in their lives and all that, but they are struggling in their love life?
Well, the tools I give them, actually, it's just a basic thing of I help them have clarity with their uncertainty, with where their alignment is, where their values are, where their beliefs are, so that they're attracting the right person in their life and helping them kind of get rid of the other relationships that they have had in their life, because people have a tendency in predictable manners. They have predictable behaviors, and they have a pattern of how they live their life. So they always attract the last relationship they already have.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because I think most people bring their previous relationship into their current relationship.
Correct.
And that's, I think, where the problem starts, because if they got cheated on before and they're into a new relationship and they're thinking that, well, this guy or this woman is going to cheat on me again because the previous woman or previous guy cheated on me. So they are very
skeptical.
Yeah.
They're skeptical, and then they're gun shy, and then they're scared.
Gun shy. Okay, what does that mean?
Gun shy meaning like, I don't want to be hurt again. Like if you get shot by a gun, you get hurt. And so they go into it skeptical, not being present, but they're being present to the last relationship, but they're not being authentic in this current place. I help people kind of like, when children in America, they all had a thing called Etch-a-Sketch. Yes. You shake it up, you have these little knobs, and you make all the design, and you shake it, and then it disappears. I help people create a tool in their mind and a metaphor that you can erase it, shake it, and so start from a brand new framework, start from a place of clarity, come from a place of that empty space, rather than all that chaos in their head and carrying that in their new relationship.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that what advice you tell them to not to, because there's, I'm sure, a lot of people think, oh yeah, well, I'm not trying to do that, but they're still doing it. What kind of advice you would tell them, hey, this is what you need to do, or clear your mind to not to bring your previous relationship into current relationship?
Well, I tell them to know what their values are, get into their alignment and being present, meaning who are you being to attract that person? So if you are being someone who is selfish, someone who is self-centered, and someone who is unkind, that's what you're going to attract, because that's who you are being. There's a philosophy that I live by called the be, do, and have. There's who are you being? And if you're being all those negative things, I'll help change that so that you're being more loving, more attractive, more generous, more in a place of being listening, being more respectful. And that's what you're going to attract. Some people do not want to be that. So if you don't want to be that, then that's what you're going to attract.
Do you think it's some kind of a confidence issue or some kind of a self-worth issue?
Yes, self-worth and self-respect. When you have a lack of self-respect, you're going to also attract someone of lack of self-respect as well, or they won't respect you either.
I think nowadays people, I mean, some women have this controlling issue, and some guys, of course, have controlling issues too. And I think that comes from their previous relationship because they were controlling or they've been controlled by those people. So let's talk about, I mean, I'm sure, you know, the red flags things. What are those red flags that they have to see before they get into really serious relationship? Because most people, I think, ignore the red flags. We were talking about earlier, hey, why people ignore the red flags.
So the red flags would be inconsistency, and the other one would be emotional unavailability.
Okay, what does that mean? Meaning like you are not present there?
You're not really present. They don't call you, or they make up a story like, oh, I'm so busy at work. I'm sorry I haven't called you in a week, or something like that. I'm just so busy. You can't be that busy because people carry a phone with them like it's connected to their hand.
Yeah.
So you can quick text something to let the other person know that they're top of mind. And that unavailability could mean that he's still or she's still in another relationship. That emotional unavailability. And the inconsistency and the lack of the follow through. Like I just said, if they're not calling or a simple text, it takes seconds. And like I said, in this day and age, communication is key because everyone has a phone. You can, FaceTime, you can say a quick text that's thinking of you, something very small, but letting the other person know that they matter and that they're special and that they're important.
Yeah. So, I mean, you said the communication. So, communication. How important the communication in any good relationship?
In any relationship, and I speak in a corporate level. My second number one best-selling book, which was in December of 2025, called Team Building 2.5, went to bestseller, and I was so excited about that. That was a global book, and that's to help a lot of companies merge departments, different ones, like whether it's HR, which is human resources, or research and development, or engineering, to blend companies together so they work together and play together in the same sandbox so they have a higher revenue at the end of the month. So it's all about relationships. Like I said, whether it's husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, or companies. So the foundation of a relationship, any relationship, is respect, acknowledgement, attention, affection, and open communication.
Communicate. I think in any relationship, communication is the key, and respect.
Respect is very important.
Yeah, respect. I think. So, I mean, you're talking about the book. Let's talk about the book. You have Swipe to Mr. Right.
Yes, this is my first best-selling book. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so this is my first best-selling book. It was best-selling book in January of 2025. This was number 12. My 12th book.
12th book, but it's number one on Amazon.
Number one on Amazon, but my 12th book that I wrote.
Wow.
Yes, and so this is the back of it right here. And I'm so proud of it. It's called Swipe for Mr. Right.
So
Best Kept Secrets to Online Dating.
Yeah, so I was going to talk to you about online dating.
I met my husband.
Now, I mean, as you know, online dating is, everywhere. So what people basically getting wrong about online dating now that basically screw their relationship?
Yes, that's a great question. Whether it's online dating, and it could be eHarmony, Match.com, Christian Mingles, Jewish Singles, or whatever it is, or Finding Fish, or Finding Bees, or I don't know, eHarmony, just whatever it is, you can meet someone at the drugstore. You can meet somebody in the parking lot. You can meet somebody in the bank in line. What it is knowing who you are and having your values and beliefs in alignment with what you want to attract. Some people do not want to do the work after they get, when they complete a relationship or break off a relationship looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend or finding a future wife or husband. They don't want to do the work because they're lazy. They just say, oh, you know what? Let me just throw spaghetti to the ceiling and see what sticks. And many people do that because, I'll put it in God's hands. Well, God helps those who help themselves.
True.
They forget that last part. It's like, yeah, I did that. That's why I've been married 6, 7, or 8 times. People have been married many, many times because they keep throwing the spaghetti to the ceiling and, it didn't stick yet. So I help people clear that so that you're in alignment, attracting the right person.
So how you do that? Meaning, like, do you give them some kind of like a checklist? Hey, you need to go through before that, or how you help them?
I help them with a lot of journaling, writing,
okay.
being in gratitude, going a deep dive, deep and wide. Some people have been traumatized when they were children, and they can't understand, why do I keep attracting the same man who's abusive? And let's say their father was abusive, or somebody was abusive in their family when they were a child. So the abuse seems familiar, but subconsciously. And our subconscious, did you know, runs like 85% of our life, our subconscious. And so when you talk to yourself, do that all the time. I ask myself questions. I always give the best answers to myself. And that was a joke. So when you talk to yourself or write to yourself, or the best way is writing in a journal, in a white paper, to blue ink, because blue ink, it resonates with the universe and God, is you write out a question, and it's all about how you ask the question. The right answer comes to you in the morning, and before you even get up to go to the bathroom, start writing. Just start writing very quickly in 30 seconds. Whatever your dreams were, and just read the question, what it was, and it will come to you. It will come to you. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, I remember that. And that's that. I know it seems so simple, but if you don't, people want to stay stuck because it's familiar.
Yes,
or they want to stay stubborn because they're stubborn because it's familiar. And people, it's just human behavior. They stay stuck and they don't want to move. They say, why is that person so successful and I'm still stuck here? Because they're stuck in familiarity and they're comfortable.
Comfortable, yeah.
And it's when you're uncomfortable is when you make the transformation.
Ah.
So sometimes when people see me, they go, oh, this is Dr. Renee, she's giving me homework. And it's easy because nobody knows our conversation because it's one-on-one, private. And no one's going to know about what we talked about because I'm very conscientious and very, trustworthy. I hold lots of secrets.
Yeah.
And so with that, I help them with their subconscious and help them find what their dreams are, what their vision is for their future, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. Do they want to get married? Do they want to have children? Do they want to excel in their business? Many, many times people who are entrepreneurs or executives do happen to get higher positions after working with me. Not only do they get successfully married, but they're very successful in their business because it's all in alignment.
All in alignment, yes. I think the major word right now that I'm listening is alignment.
Yes.
So young generation or young woman nowadays, you notice that
like in the 20s or 30s?
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, they don't want to get married. Second, they don't want to have kids. What do you think is the reason behind all that?
Maybe the way they grew up. Maybe they grew up with seeing their parents arguing, fighting all the time. They don't want that. And it is true that children, even though the parents may hide arguing from their children feel it. They feel it. Just like even dogs and cats, especially dogs. They feel when people are arguing. They feel when you're not saying anything, or even though they may not understand you, this is for a dog, they actually subconsciously, they hear it and they feel it. And children are the same way, they feel it. And when children grow up to be adults, they remember the arguing, or they remember the silence, or they can feel that heaviness in the air. And that's why
I think most of our behavior as adults actually comes from, of course, our childhood and our environment. Unless you work someone like your expert, like you, and they can basically see the vision. Hey, this is not basically, you don't have to live like that, like in your past, like you're living in a childhood kind of thing. So you help actually almost, I guess, 2,500 couples or something
more
like
than that now.
More than that.
Yeah.
So what do you see the common thread in all these couples that basically not connecting with each other or something like that?
Okay, so let's talk about couples versus singles.
Yes.
Okay. I find with couples, both parties want to be right.
Well,
Okay? They want to be right. And they want to, when they're talking, it's talking at each other, not with each other.
yeah, that's true.
So I believe that when you set up a time outside of the home, go to Starbucks, go to maybe a restaurant, go to a park together, and have a list of things written out. Just say, why don't you go first? And that's showing respect. Or why don't you go first? And share what you want to say. And is actual active listening and not being ready to do a rebuttal or get defensive or cut in or butt in while they're talking. Men especially hate that when they're being interrupted. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, and that's another thing I want to share with everyone here.
Sure.
Is that men need respect and women need love. And I think if there was more of that, there would be more couples connecting. And I want to share one more thing.
Yeah,
about respect.
please.
All right. I share it to a lot of audiences around the world, especially in America, because it's kind of like the husband's duty is to empty the trash. When your husband empties the trash, always thank him for emptying the trash. And especially when they hose out the trash cans, that's kind of a dirty, icky, smelly job. Say, thank you, honey, I appreciate you. Or when he's scooping up the poop in the backyard, thank him for that too. I know it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it unless you have a gardener or a landscaper. And the other thing for husbands is that if your wife is, changed her hair or got a different lipstick or she made something delicious, for dinner, compliment her and let her know she did a great job. She has a brand new dress, you recognize it, or the house is so clean, honey. Thank you for keeping such a clean house and making sure that our children are well dressed and they're clean and they're safe and they did all their homework and they're fast asleep and, taking care of the home. And
simple things.
Simple things. And you don't have to buy her $300 worth of a bouquet of flowers. Another little helpful hint is a little Post-it note on her purse as she goes out to work, or a Post-it note on her bathroom mirror would be great, saying, I love you, I appreciate you. And those little things, they add up, just as if negative things add up as well. So I want to share something about negative things.
Yes, please.
People say, oh, my husband was fooling around or my wife was fooling around out of the clear blue sky. How did that happen? Well, it's an accumulation of little things.
Yes.
That's a negative thing. Not being respected. This is for the husband. Husband being nagged. Where were you? Or why are you coming home late? Or constantly, or he's driving home from work on the freeway. The best way and you don't want to nag a husband when he just comes home and start complaining about the kids or the bills or where were you, or contradicting him and starting an argument. What you want to do, ladies, when your husband comes home from a long day at work, it's 5:30, 5:45, you say, honey, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad you're home safe from the freeway drive. The basketball game is on TV right now. Here's the clicker. Here's a beer. And go have a good time. And I'll come in a half an hour and dinner will be ready. Now, I know that seems very fundamental, but it's so simple that your husband would really appreciate that. So that's a little thing. And then after 30 minutes, then you can share all the things that have happened.
Yeah.
Report cards in school and things like that for the children.
No, great advice. I mean, I think like you talk about simple things actually. And also I think for appreciation for both parties, not like husband or both parties, wife and husband both. And I think that's what missing right now in our culture or in our society, the appreciation, even though people, like we talk about single moms, or if the husband is working, the mom is basically a housewife or something like that. And he comes home and yell and scream and this and that. But even though she's a housewife, but she's doing a lot of work too in the house.
Yeah.
Meaning if they have kids, they're taking care of the kids. She's taking care of the kids. She's taking care of the laundry. In our business, actually, we did actually one time. So if husband is working and the wife is in the house like a housewife, the work she's doing is equal to someone who's making $50,000 a year.
Or more. If you were to delegate that out, you have a limousine driver taking the kids to school, or a driver, or Uber, or whatever it is, to school, and then picking them up. Not just picking them up, then they have to go to gymnastics, soccer, baseball practice, basketball, and all these things. Plus, you have to hire a cook. Let's say if she doesn't cook, cook something healthy at home. The dog has to go for a walk. You have to hire a dog walker. You need a housekeeper to do the laundry, to clean the house, to dust, to vacuum, mop the floors, the gardener to go outside to trim the backyard or whatever it is. There's a lot of other things that the wife does, and she does all this. And sometimes some of these women do it all. They're like super women. And how they do it, they just do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just a routine, and they have systems, and that all comes down to systems, and they know how to do it effortlessly. Some women do it effortlessly because they know how to do that. And if the husband can appreciate them saying, honey, I love you. Thank you so much. Or even buying her some flowers at the grocery store for no reason. He's not in the doghouse, but saying, here, honey, I just saw these and I thought I'd let you know how much I love you and appreciate what you do in the home.
Yeah.
That little thing,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it would make her feel so good. You know, I talked to a doctor friend of mine because he was saying that when they first got married, and they have 5 kids now, she didn't cook very well. And she started looking at YouTube, and she started cooking better and watching cooking shows, because what she was doing, she was cooking with love, but with intention behind the cooking.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have to be a gourmet cook, but she
yeah.
put some effort and intention, like, I want to cook well for my children. I don't want to use the microwave. I want to cook from scratch. So she got a crock pot. She got a Ninja cooker, things that she can plug in, and it does it by itself. You just add the spices, cover it, push the button, and then you can vacuum clean, go to lunch with your friends, because something is at home cooking.
Yeah.
You know, and you have the table set before you leave, have a salad done, have the rice done in a cooker. Simple. And if more women live with intention of loving the family, living on the family, rather than it's all about her feelings and this is too hard and this is difficult and my husband is too demanding, the children are demanding. Instead of saying, look at how fortunate I am. I live in a beautiful home. I have 5 healthy children.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of girlfriends, but I just put it in systems. You have a washing machine. It isn't like you have to go to the river and wash clothes on a rock. You know, hello,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. So if you look at it from a place of gratitude rather than lack of, there will be a lot more happier marriages.
Oh, wow.
Don't you agree?
Yes, 100%. Let's talk about, you were talking about system. So what system you usually advise or create, you know, in this kind of a relationship or in couples?
Well, each couple is unique and different, but overall, people are human. And that's who I work with, obviously, human psychology. And it's pretty, you know, people are pretty predictable in general. You get to know them a little bit, and predictable and have patterns. So I work with that. And from that, I can assess, and each time I create a program for each couple, it's customized.
Okay, it's customized according to their, you know,
Their behavior and
yeah.
this lifestyle and things like that.
So we're talking about respect. So what do you think a respect look like in a thriving relationship?
Oh, thriving relationship?
Yeah.
Well, that's easy because that's what I have. I met my husband. Can I share that?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. I want to ask you the next, you know, about your basically
Yeah, thank you.
story and personal.
I met my husband on Match.com.
Okay. Wow.
He wasn't on Match.com. I was on Match.com.
Okay.
This is in the year 2000, in the early part of 2000. So in 3 months, and I didn't know, I'm not very technology savvy. I just wrote a couple little paragraphs, put 3 pictures in, and I had my friends put me online. And so within 3 months, I had 2,874 guys email me.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I said, the first night was 280 or something. I said, that's a lot. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so many people. And this one, I mean, there was a lot. And I had a little Maltese dog on my desk. I said, look at all these people. And they're single, they're this. I said, I only want to marry one. Maybe God give me 3 guys and I'll pick from those 3 to find a husband. To find a future father of my little dog. Her name was Bianca at the time, a little white Maltese. She's only 3 pounds. So I talked to her all the time. And she's sitting there with me looking at all these people and all the profiles. It was ridiculous. And I just put 3 short little paragraphs, but I knew I was in alignment with what I wanted. Mm-hmm. For instance, at the very last line, I said, I love children, but if you have a child over 16, it's much better. And I also wanted him to be married before, at least once or twice.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of like a prerequisite. I want my future husband to be married at least once or twice.
So, yeah.
That was a definite. I didn't want him.
Tell us more about that. Why you want to do that?
Why I wanted somebody already married
Yes.
before? Oh, definitely. Maybe twice. Because I didn't want him. I wanted him to be broken in. I didn't want him to teach him everything. It's like, I don't have time for that. I'm a woman who, at the time, before I was a loving relationship coach, I was an entrepreneur. I had companies. I built from nothing to something. I sold them before we got married. And so when I knew in my relationship, my next relationship, that I wanted somebody who knew how to open the doors, being a gentleman. I love that. I love the European style of tradition. I love it when a man dresses up to go to dinner, not in shorts and tennis shoes, unless we're going to a casual restaurant for a burger. But when we go to dinner on a Saturday night, I like the person I'm going out with, sport coat, collared shirt, nice slacks, nice shoes. It's just what I like.
Yeah.
Cologne. And some men don't know how to do that. So I didn't put all that down on the profile, but what I did put down is I wanted somebody entrepreneurial, a partner in a law firm, architectural firm, on the board of staff, chief of staff of a hospital, something in a leadership role. There's nothing wrong with other occupations, but because I was in a kind of a boss lady,
Yes.
and I don't mean boss lady in a negative way, but I've never been employed. I've always been coming in as a consultant or running my own.
You're a high achiever, so you're looking for a high achiever. You are a 10, you're looking for a 10, you're going to attract 10.
A 10 or a 12, because I wanted somebody in alignment with me, not subservient and not above me. So we're like together.
That's a standard. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
that is still my standard.
Yeah.
And I walk holding hands into the future, into love, prosperity, because the more money we make, the more we can be of contributing to philanthropic projects like the homeless shelters, women's homeless shelters, the homeless people here in town, and different things globally as well. But that's always been my vision, always being of tithing to churches and things like that. So I'm always about giving back. And also my mindset is I move very quickly. So I needed somebody to match my mindset, not that I want to shrink to fit into his world.
So he was married before?
He was married, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you met him first time?
He had a son. He has a son still.
He has a son and over 16 years
16 years old.
Okay.
Just graduating from high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of him. And from there, he went to a Jesuit school in California, and then he went to Columbia, full scholarship, and now he retired at 28 years old.
So how long it take you to realize, okay, this is the Mr. Right?
Oh, I mean
your husband.
Oh, okay, when I knew he was Mr. Right.
Yes.
Okay, so even though there's over almost 3,000 people, I narrowed it down to 80.
Okay.
And I wrote a lot of letters to God. I said, this is a lot, God, and there's a lot of people here, and what do I do? And I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll create a business plan. So I've written tons of business plans, sales plans, and marketing plans. I always write with a strategic, very, I think about it first, I put it on paper, and then I put action. It's like shooting a gun. Okay, and here in Chattanooga, everyone's got a gun.
Yeah.
So you're not going to shoot and no target, and that's what people do, like throwing spaghetti up to the ceiling. I said, I got to create a strategy and a business plan. So I created a business plan. This works, this doesn't work. This works, this doesn't work. And so I came down to 80 people that I was actually going to go out with. Now, I didn't go out with all of them. I went out to Starbucks and to Jamba Juice. And so in Los Angeles, where I come from, where I was living, in Beverly Hills, as you all know, as you said, is the glamour capital of the world, besides Las Vegas or Monte Carlo. Of course.
Well, Las Vegas is like at this level. Beverly Hills is
Beverly
that
Hills. Okay, then there's Monte Carlo, and there's Dubai. And we talked about.
There's levels.
There's all these levels of glamour.
Yeah.
But Beverly Hills is definitely glamorous. But as you know, there's the entertainment industry. There's the pro football players and pro athletes. And so I had to come up with a plan. So I said to the barista, I said, I'm casting for a movie, and I'm going to be interviewing 7 people today. So I'll be sitting here in this corner. And so I had a big book. And in that book were all the names I was going to be meeting.
So you met 7 people in one day?
In one day. So it was coffee and coffee and coffee. I said, please don't be late. And it was a 30-minute interview. And you can tell, I can tell when he's coming out of the car, I can see him from far away, whoever the person was. I can see if it's, like a jalopy car all dirty or something nice or, different. And I can see if they're clean. I can see the shoes. I can see how he carries himself. And there's a certain standard that I live by that I do not tolerate less than. This is a marriage.
Yes.
It is not the wedding. People get confused with that. The wedding meaning like, do I want mauve or pink napkins? Or do I want white or cream on the tablecloth? It doesn't matter. And matches don't matter either. They have little matches and little stupid little candy things. Doesn't matter. What matters is the That's the wedding. What matters is the marriage. And if more people looked at the marriage as a whole event,
Yeah, please,
I'm going
explore.
to I'll explore that. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
So here's my philosophy about marriage, and it's 26 years. April 5th is our anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. So 26 years.
Wow.
Thank you. So marriage is like building a home. You need the foundation. As I said earlier, it isn't about love, just love. It's respect, acknowledgement, attention, affection, and open communication. When you have that as a foundation and you do this daily with intention, that's the key thing. I mentioned that with the cooking and things like that. Yeah. Anything you do is with intention. Your beautiful studio here is with intention. Can you all see how beautiful his studio is with the cameras?
Thank you.
It's immaculate and it's just pristine and beautifully designed. That's how you have a marriage, because it's a foundation for success. Now, here's an example as a metaphor. If a couple was getting married and their intention is to be with each other for 20 years, and they do nothing, and they live in a beautiful home, but they do nothing to the home. They don't paint, they don't do landscaping, and everything is overgrown. There's trees all over the place, and it's all overgrown, and there's no painting. And now there's rats inside, there's roaches and spiders and everything, because they left the doors open, and everything from the outside is coming in. And that means like outside influences things like that. Yes. And they do nothing. And they sit there in their chair waiting for something to happen because they don't want to put work. They don't want to put intention. They don't want to put communication, bad vibration, bad frequency, bad everything. And then after 20 years of doing nothing, the house is going to either collapse. There's a hole in the floor. The termites have eaten through the wood and it's collapsing. Nothing. So with everything like having a home or even an apartment, wherever you live, you have to live with intention. And once in a while, you have to paint it. You have to do the gardening, pull out the weeds, mow the lawn, everything. Replace the carpeting, replace the furniture. So it's the same thing. Not replacing your husband when I said replace furniture, but reupholster or something to upkeep, maintain. And that's living with intention when you have a marriage. It's the foundation. And that's why I said, I'll repeat that again. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So it isn't about just love. It's respect, acknowledgement, attention, affection, and open communication. Those 5 things is what you need for a successful relationship.
And successful marriage too as well.
The relationship, the marriage.
The marriage.
Exactly.
And also you were talking about, you meet these people and you saw, even before they come into the Starbucks, you saw them on what kind of a car they're driving, how are they dressing, because you have standards. And I think what I see now, which actually really, sometimes really gets me, is I see a young couple, boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, and mostly guys, I see that. They look like they're dressing, so the woman with them is so dressed nice and everything, and he looks like he just rolled over the bed or looks like maybe a caveman.
Or he's just cleaning the garage.
Yeah, clean, and he's like just going with, this woman, and the woman looks like so fancy and nice and everything. And I when I see that, I said, oh my God, first of all, this woman shouldn't be with this guy because he doesn't even know what the standards are, because she's looking so nice, dressed up and everything, and he looks like a caveman. And so what do you kind of advise you give it to these kind of a couple? Hey, listen.
Are they dating or are they married?
I don't know exactly, but they're dating or not. But I'm just saying in general, when I see that's really gets me. And also what gets me is just off a little bit, of the topic. But when I see that on the gas station, the woman is filling the gas and the man is sitting and was playing with the phone.
I see that.
I said, this is, for me as a man, it's kind of very disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful. And that's what I'm sharing with everybody. And that is my goal. My mission and my purpose in life, and why I do this work, is literally to end divorce. Because that accumulates. The husband's reading on the phone and she's pumping the gas. It's like, really? Unless he's handicapped and he can't move it because his thumb is broken.
That's the exception to the rule.
His thumb is going crazy with that phone. What I'm saying is that is that my mission and purpose is literally to end divorce in the world. If more people live with those 5 pillars, as I said, and that is disrespectful.
Yeah.
And people wonder why. Why is she fooling around? Or why is he fooling around? It's like a little bit and a little bit. It adds up. It adds up. It adds up. And it isn't just in our relationship. And I want to share with everyone also, it also adds in your health. You know, many people have a lack of water. Oh, I'm drinking tea, I'm drinking coffee, that's enough water. No, you got to drink water. You got to exercise. You got to avoid sugar because that's the number one killer. And people say, oh, my wife or my husband had a heart attack. Oh, what happens suddenly? Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't go to the doctor regularly. They didn't get checkups. They didn't exercise. They were on a couch potato all the time. And suddenly a heart attack and the person dies. Because little by little, and people don't realize that what they eat, it does catch up. So that's what God gave us. And also in our relationships, how you treat the other person, it does add up, add up, add up. So that either the husband will go fool around or the wife because they're not feeling the sense of love for a woman or respect for a man. And the man may not say anything, but all of a sudden you're going to find lipstick on his collar after 6 months, a year, a couple of years. Or you're nagging all the time, and he's going to wonder, why is he always playing golf? Why is he always at the bar with his friends? Mm-hmm. Why doesn't he want to be with me?
Yeah.
And that's why. It's because they don't want to come home. I asked my husband this the other, a few years ago, because I saw bars full, because we would drive by. I said, honey, why is the bar so full? And he said, because those men who are at the bars, they don't want to go home. I said, why? He said, because they don't want to go home to their wife.
They're nagging?
Nagging wife, or the wife is giving them a hard time, or their wife is jealous or accusing them of something they're not doing, or maybe they're not fooling around. They just want to be away from the wife. Mm. And that's not good. It's if you're a wife, you want to do something with your husband, play golf together. Even if you don't play golf, get in the little go-kart, the golf cart, and go around with your husband and talk about things, just the two of you.
And also for the guys who are wearing shorts and t-shirts while their women are wearing really fancy dresses, you need to step up.
Step up. Step up. It's called self-respect.
As a respect for your woman.
Respect for the woman, but also for yourself as well. Self-respect for yourself and respect for the relationship. It is a sanctity. Yeah. It is the sanctity of a marriage. It's a partnership. So you want to, up your standard and not be lazy and put the effort and intention.
Speaking of standards, so how important standards in a relationship?
Well, everybody has different standards.
Yeah.
Standards are important. Again, it's self-respect.
Yeah, self-respect. I think standards basically, like you said, it's standard. You had a standard and you have very high standard. And there is, of course, people think, oh, well, you are so fancy or something. No, it's standards. This is the value. Like you said, marriage and wedding is 2 different things.
Yes.
And you went through all these relationships. So, we haven't talked about your previous relationship. I don't know if you want to mention something.
I don't mind.
You don't mind? Okay.
I don't mind.
So you've been married now for almost 26 years.
Yes, in a few weeks it's 26
In 26 years. And so previously,
yes,
you were engaged 9 times.
Correct.
That is correct?
Yes.
So tell us what basically, I don't know, I won't say issue or cause, but what makes you to engage 9 times before you find your final Mr. Right guy?
Right. So Jim, my husband, is number 10.
Okay.
So I've had many proposals, 16 proposals. The fastest proposal was 2.5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And, when women say, oh, I'm hoping and wishing he'll propose to me, and they've been together 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, after 6 months to a year, if you don't see it going forward, it's time to bail. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. As I say, you're wasting your pretty on one relationship. And what does that mean?
That's a good way to put it.
Wasting my pretty? I said, yes, because there's millions of men out there who's waiting to be your future husband. I don't know what you look like, but at least thousands. And there's somebody there for all of you out there. There's somebody, God made us to be with someone special. And if that person can't appreciate you to say, hey, let's get married, or let me cut you loose because it's not working for him either, it's time to go. And he's not the only man. I was taught at a young age, my father, he said, never fall in love with a guy, or if you do, you're going to get your heart broken. And men don't cry over a guy because there's another one every 5 minutes, like a bus. So I said, okay, Dad. And I was like virgin. I can say that because till in my early 20s, that's when I broke virginity. And the sanctity of sexuality, I hold that as a high regard. So I was engaged 9 times, and to very wealthy people. And one even gave me a Rolls Royce as a gift with a key and the pink slip, the ownership. Not like saying, here, honey, here's my Rolls, but you can drive it around town. Nothing like that. Here, this is our wedding gift. So when I broke up with him, I gave him back his fur coats and, the diamond ring, which was 9.5 carats, and the Rolls Royce. And I was happy to do that because it's the energy and the karma that's with it. It's powerful. So I gave back all the gifts that I got from all my people that I was engaged to.
Yeah.
9 guys.
9 guys.
Yeah,
wow.
a lot. Gave back all the rings, jewelry, fur coats. The two different people gave me a car.
So, but your 9 relationship or 9 engagements, what was the main, the red flag you think now, look back, that you missed in 9 relationships?
Yes. Okay. So here's one. I can mention this now because he's now gone. So Fruit of the Loom, he had a big company, CEO of a company, and he was not beyond vegetarian. Beyond vegetarian is micro something, something where you're eating foam and alfalfa sprouts and things like that.
Okay.
Beyond vegetarian.
I
don't know what that's called, but I'm kind of like meat and potatoes and martinis. I don't eat like that now, but I like big food because I'm definitely a foodie. So I didn't realize that. And whenever we'd go out, he complained that, wow, you've had 2 martinis and a prime rib all by yourself. Where do you put it? Because I love to eat good food and meat and things like that. Again, that was at the time. And we weren't clashing, we weren't arguing, but that lifestyle of him of not eating any, no meat, fish, no chicken, no nothing, and I love to cook, it was like a challenge in the kitchen. So I thought, I couldn't do this for the rest of my life. And I love him, but not like in love. I loved him, but I didn't like him. There's a distinction there. And there's different things like that. One of them was, I usually bring my little dog with me at the time, to a restaurant, sit in a bag quietly. He didn't like me to bring my little dog with me, even though she was quiet. And I thought, if he's jealous of a little dog, what more when we have children? He'll be jealous of that too.
So when you were dating, he was not, saying anything about these things before?
No, none of them did. But once I got engaged, it was kind of like, why are you wearing those stilettos? Or why are you wearing this? Or why do you have to go play golf again and go to the driving range? Or why are you going to this meeting? Or things like that.
So let's talk about that. Why people do that? I mean, this is like I think in journal, like, people when I know when they're dating, they're in a good behavior.
Yes.
But when they engage or they get married, they like people do change, or people just show up their true colors then?
Yeah, their true colors, and there's a slight change. And if you're aware of it and you are certain of yourself in your womanhood, it's like, I don't need this. I don't want to tolerate this. And being in marriage, you're not tolerating. You say, can I live with this for the rest of my life? And I looked at this person across the table from me. I said, could I live with him for the rest of my life? Mm-hmm. Always correcting or always scolding or something. There was always a little something. I said, I don't like this for the rest of my life. Yeah. I have to wake up to this person forever and ever. I said, I don't think so, because I felt like claustrophobic. And I felt like there was a noose around my neck, like a rope. And I didn't want someone to wrangle me, because I was kind of, not that I'm a wild Mustang, because I'm not. I'm very consistent. I'm very certain in my businesses. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be as successful as I am, before I got into this industry. I wouldn't be as successful as a real estate entrepreneur or an entrepreneur in the other businesses that I started and sold if I tolerated a lot of different things like that.
Yeah. I think my mentor actually used to say that. He said, hey, before you get into really serious relationship, do you see yourself eating 10,000 meals with that person in the future?
That's a good one. 10,000 meals, because I thought of a lifetime eating meals.
10,000 meals, 10,000 meals in the future. If the answer is no, bail out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said, could I sleep with this person for the rest of my life and wake up with this person? Or eat dinner And I didn't think about 10,000 meals, but a lifetime is a long time. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Could I go on holiday with this person?
And also, I think, as you know, life is like a season too, and relationship is kind of thing. So before you jump into like really serious relationship, I usually say, hey, you need to spend 4 seasons with them, meaning, like whole year before you say, because I think nowadays people just, meet them and 2 weeks later, I love you kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah, that you know what I call that?
Yeah.
Great takeoff, crash landing.
great takeoff, guys. I like
Because
that.
when you say I love you in 2 weeks, it's like, really? That's a little bit much.
Yeah.
It's a little jumping the gun. It's like dating. And it's like, let's get married. That's a little fast. And, the one I said 2.5 weeks was a proposal I got.
Yeah.
That was a little too fast.
Yeah.
And so I said no, because it was too fast.
Yeah.
The other thing that you had mentioned is that when people jump to conclusions like that, it's usually negative. I always tell everybody, you're right about the season, 6 months to a year. You're doing holidays, there's a funeral, there's a wedding that you're attending, there's tension, there's anger. Something will happen, the families merge, or there's an argument of something. How does that person handle tension and anger and something that pops up that's negative that you didn't expect,
Yeah.
or something unexpected? Somebody died, or there was a car accident, or some sort of circumstance, event, or occurrence that you didn't expect, and how does that person deal with it? Because can you live with that for the rest of your life? Because things go up and down, like you said, seasons.
See, that's why I said season, because maybe when you met them, they were in a good season.
Yes.
And, season pass. And then, when there's winter, there's, of course, going to be spring and then summer and all that. So maybe you met them and there was a summer in their life. They're all happy and everything. But then, the time goes by and then, things like that. So you've been engaged 9 times.
Correct.
If somebody listening to this conversation and she's trying to get engaged first time,
Yes.
what would you advise you give it to her that you need to see before you even say yes?
Call me. I'd be happy to help you. With a complimentary session if you want. I call it a love valuation.
Okay.
And can I give my email?
Yeah.
Okay. My email is Renee, RENEE, at ReneeLoveCoach.com. That's my email address.
At the end, we're gonna actually ask you all your handles and all that, and we're gonna put that on the screen.
Okay.
And on the show notes. But yeah, please, you can get the email.
And then at the end of April, I'm doing a free love masterclass to talk to singles and to talk to married couples or people dating. And there's going to be a Q&A afterwards, so it's an open forum afterwards. And so I'll give you like lots of hints and tips, and like I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But I mean, one advice, if you want to give someone who basically getting ready to engage.
To get married?
Yeah.
They're already dating somebody?
They're already dating and they're getting engaged. And I mean, meaning like the guy is proposing, or she already engaged now, they're getting married now. What kind of advice you give it to?
Definitely. What I advise is, and no matter where you live, go to your local church or temple, or go to somebody who's like a marriage therapist and put everything on the table. That means medical information, people you owe bills to, medical information as well as financial. What do you want to do with money? With regards to how much do you make, how much does he make? Are you merging accounts together? Mm-hmm. Who's going to pay for the groceries? Do we put it all in one account? How much are you going to contribute when it's a holiday time? How are we going to raise our children? Are you Catholic? Are you Protestant? Are you Jewish? Or whatever it is? Are you Hindi? How will you raise the children? Are you going to have children? How many are you planning on having? How do we manage our families if the families don't get along? And things like that should be put on the table before you get married, so there's no surprises. It's really important to put it all on the table. Be very open, because if you're not open, it will bite you, later on.
So let's talk about your marriage.
Okay.
What's the key ingredients in your marriage being so successful for the last 26 years?
Okay. So not only do I love my husband, I really like him.
Okay.
And he really likes me. I mean, he loves me. He says that all the time, but he really likes me. And that's the thing. The other little thing, here's a little practical thing, is close the bathroom door. Do not go to the bathroom with the door open. whether number one or two, that's a big deal. Close the door. It's just a thing you do, and it's a private thing that's for you individual. Close the door. Once in a while, take a tub bath or shower together to keep the relationship exciting and new and sexy and passionate and intimate. I suggest that for couples.
They can have two different bathrooms?
You can have two different bathrooms. It's always better. If you can have two different bathrooms, that's perfect. When we lived in Los Angeles, our home was pretty sizable, and I had a whole suite to myself. And so I got the bathroom, a bidet, a shower, a sauna, a steam, and a jacuzzi.
That's why my wife has her own bathroom, her spa.
If you're fortunate enough to do that, and then my husband had his own with his bathroom as well as a big closet and his own bathroom, and we come out, we meet downstairs if we're going to go out to dinner. But if you're just in a cramped little one-bedroom apartment or a home, just close the bathroom door, be respectful, and that's one of the
That's what goes for both men and women.
men and women. Do not go bathroom number one or two in front of each other. It just kind of loses it. It's just much nicer, and you'll kind of keep that mystery. Not that it's so mysterious to go to the bathroom, but you just don't want to see
There's
everything.
certain things needs to be in private.
TMI.
Yes.
Too much information, yeah.
I actually, totally agree with you. There are certain things that needs to be private, meaning I don't know, there's nothing private in a relationship, but there's certain things about personal thing, like you said, go to the bathroom
Just
and close the door.
Close the door.
Because,
it's just better. Close the door.
Yeah. So
that's a practical thing. That's common sense.
Yeah, I think nowadays, anyway, everything is so open. So let's talk about social media in a relationship.
Okay.
Do you think that the social media and all this fake life people living on social media is affecting the relationship nowadays?
Well, social media, that's how I met my husband, Jim. That's on Match.com.
I say it's a tool, but
it's a tool.
It's a tool. You can use it in both ways. You can use it to make relationship like you did.
Yes.
Or you can have maybe break relationship through that.
There's a possibility. When we started dating, he wasn't even on Match.com. He was looking for a friend of his who's a girl. For 3 months, she only had 2 people ask her to go out. So because he's a great friend to have, Jim, my husband, he helped her. He said, so he's scrolling, and she had put down something like, are you the one for me? Now, men don't like that, on the tagline. On the top thing. Then he scrolled down, he saw mine, he said, ex-model/chef. It's like, what's that? So he looked at my picture, he started reading.
You lived a very glamorous life. You're still living a very glamorous life. You actually interview so many celebrities.
Correct, yeah.
And
I have many celebrities as my clients.
As your clients, yes. So do you have any success story that you like to share with one of your celebrity clients?
Yes, I can't name the name, but 4 of my clients have named their first daughter after me, Renee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a really big deal.
That's a big deal.
That's a really big deal. I had another...
Big compliment.
Yes, it is. And I had another client. She's 83. And she lost her husband, and she said, I don't want to find anybody else. I said, well, there's a possibility you can find love again. So she found love 3 months later, and he's 85, and they got married.
Wow.
They got married. And she was married for many, many years, over 50 years.
So what would you tell someone who's basically tried so many relationships and failed, and now they are basically... discouraged, and how you get them back into believing in love and all that?
Well, it is believing in love and believing in yourself. That's the most important thing, believing in yourself, knowing that there's somebody out there for them. And you can't do that with a negative mindset. It's all up here. And anything can happen. And I help people open the possibilities of being in alignment. But you can change your alignment. You can change those beliefs.
Open the possibilities and open their mind as well.
Correct.
There's a very famous quote from what's his name? Oh my God. Deepak Chopra. You probably know him.
Yes.
Deepak Chopra. He said, your mind is like a parachute. It won't work unless it's open.
Correct. Yes.
So I think this openness,
Open mind, open heart.
open mind, open heart. Yeah. So we were talking about your glamorous life, and you were saying that, this 85-year-old that, So now if somebody comes to you and they are struggling in the relationship, and they says, I met so many people and they're all the same. Guys are all the same kind of thing because they cheat and this and that. And what kind of one advice you can give it to them they can start today and implement on that?
Yes. And you're right. I do meet a lot of women who say all men are
cheating and this and
all
that.
Men are mean or cheaters or liars or abusive. And I said, well, who are you being to attract that? I can help change that and help transform their life so that they're not attracting that. And it's through vibration and frequency. Can I share how that works? Vibration and frequency. Vibration and frequency is the invisible. And you may ask, what does that mean by the invisible? So I'll give you an example. You don't have children, daughters.
No, I don't.
So people who, I don't have children either, but people who I know, or even when I was little, or women out there who, when they were younger, 12 and 13 years old, when girls get together, once they're 12 and 13, 14 years old, they start their period. They're going into their womanhood. And when they get together, they're doing always things together, Girl Scouts, sleepovers, things like that consistently, the same group of 5 or 6 girls. All of a sudden, they start their periods at the same time. Now, nobody marked it on the calendar, but it's at the same time. They get their cramps, they get their period all at the same time. And it's all by vibration and frequency. It's all in sync. They're all doing it at the same time. That's the invisible.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, I mean, how...
It's a frequency.
It's a frequency, but how can they trust back, or they can... So, are you saying that in order to trust someone else, you have to trust yourself first?
You have to trust yourself, have self-respect for yourself, self-love for yourself. That's the key thing, is self-love. When you have self-love for yourself, genuine love, obviously it's loving God, but genuine love and accepting yourself for who you are. Once you accept yourself for who you are and say, that there's a part of me that I want to change, I could be better in this part of my life, or this area of my life, I could be better there because I'm not finding, good fortune there. I'm not attracting this person or that person. There's things I can shift and transmute into something new and different and something positive.
Interesting. So if you go back 30 years when you were, engaged and all that kind of a thing, and what you know now that you look back, and so what kind of advice you give someone who are basically at the edge of giving up about love?
I'm going to say it again, is if you give up on love, you're giving up on yourself. And you don't want to give up on yourself. It's believing yourself that you can do it and you can find that special love. God made us where we're all meant to be together with someone, growing old together.
Yeah, I mean,
not being by yourself.
Yeah, by yourself.
Not by yourself.
I think that's a biblical thing too. That
it is a biblical thing.
Yeah.
And so there's a future for everybody, and everybody has a possibility. There's someone there for everyone.
You have to look for it, and you have to work for it.
You have to work for it. You have to put some effort and intention.
Not the swipe, Mr. Right.
Yes, but there's the intention. Remember I mentioned that?
Intention. Yes,
And living life with intention and knowing what you want and literally writing it down, blue ink to white paper, rather than what you want, what you don't want, but not like throwing spaghetti up in the air and see what happens.
I think that's what's happening nowadays now, like you said.
Because they don't want to. They don't want to put the effort in.
Yeah, don't put effort on it. Yes, you're right.
Yes, and even when they're looking for a job, they don't want to write down, what's my perfect job look like? What's my perfect salary? What I want to look for? What I want to receive? And then what am I willing to do to get that salary? What am I willing to do to be the perfect wife? Who am I being to be that perfect wife? Who am I being to attract that perfect husband? And another thing is just being positive and knowing that there's somebody there. It's stepping into that beingness and knowingness that's create that certainty. And that's what I help people do, is the reason why I'm so successful in the business that I do.
Yeah.
is that I create more certainty and determination and perseverance. That there is somebody out there.
Out there. And I think people, say, hey, what are you looking for in a girl or in a guy? Oh, I'm looking for this, 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 this. But I usually say, are you this person like this, this?
Are you being that person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you said, if you are 10, you have to be 10 to attract 10.
Yes, same standard, and not tolerate anything less than.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
and what are you going to tolerate?
Yeah.
And are you being a 10 or are you a 5 looking to be a 10?
Yes.
But you got to be the 10 if
Yes.
you want to be that, and you have to attract that. You can't be a 5 hoping and wishing and pretend, because that authenticity of who you really are will still come out. And that's why I share with everybody that red flag.
Yes.
If they're not being authentic, you got to move on and don't waste your pretty.
Yeah, I love that. Don't wish you're pretty. So before we wrap this up, let's talk about. My question to you is: I know you don't have any kids, but what Dr. Renee Gordon legacy is gonna be?
Oh yes, the legacy. That's why I write all of my books.
Yes,
I have 2 more on the back burner right now.
Okay,
but this is my newest book, Strutting Your Stilettos, and
it's coming in April, right?
April, the end of April, and then my complimentary love masterclass is at the end of April too.
Okay.
So we'll put that on.
We're gonna actually ask you where they can find you and all that kind of information, so they can find you and join this masterclass.
Yes. So my legacy, I love that question. I have a huge legacy. The reason why I have the legacy at 15 and a half years old, I almost died, and my father and I were in a terrible car accident.
Oh.
And I was driving. My dad was sitting on the passenger side, and we got hit by a four-car collision. Kids coming home from a homecoming game. This was in Los Angeles, and so one car bumped me in the back, another one front, and the other one on the side. And my dad flew out of the car, and in the hospital he said, honey, God's with us. We're gonna be fine. I was in a coma for 9.5 months.
Oh wow!
So when I got out of the hospital, I was already 16 years old, and scared and nervous and didn't know what to do, and found out after I woke up from the coma that my dad had passed away.
I'm sorry.
So it goes into a long thing. Hopefully I can do another podcast. Maybe go into that and how that changed my life. The other thing real quickly is that when I was 6 years old, when I was 5 years old, my father gave me a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
Yes, and he gave me a dictionary. And he said, honey, on your 6th birthday, I want you to write a summary. It'll take a year to do it. And before we go out to dinner on your 6th birthday, give me the summary and then we'll read it together. So I did that. And on my 6th birthday, I read my summary to him, which is, little girls writing as best I can. And he said, great job. I'm going to give you one more book. And it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie, correct. So my 7th birthday, I had 2 summaries for him. And I read both books over and over with a dictionary. So my 7th birthday, I gave him the summaries, and he said, "Good girl, I want you to do this, for all your birthdays." So he did. I did that, and then my 16th birthday, he was already gone.
Okay.
So I started my life at 16. I left home at 16.
And the legacy you're gonna leave is?
The legacy I'm going to leave is live life with gratitude daily and hourly, because you never know. And live life with gratitude in your heart that there's a tomorrow, but knowing that being in gratitude is so important.
Yes, I think gratitude is the important thing, because if you don't have a gratitude, what you have right now, I don't think universe is going to give you more, because you can't even appreciate what you have right now.
Exactly. And know that you are perfect just the way you are. Believe in yourself and know that you have greatness inside of you.
Yeah, beautiful. So before we wrap this, do you have any final message for my audience or our audience to?
Yeah, believe in yourself, love yourself, have self-respect, knowing that you are perfect just the way you are.
Oh, I love that. Well, Dr. Renee Gordon, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
The people now, so tell us about your, first of all, where they can find this information about your masterclass right now.
Okay, the masterclass is that there's going to be a QR code or something that you can scan at the end when you watch this video, and it'll give you all the details, and just sign up, register. Again, it's a complimentary evaluation. I'll be taking questions at the end of the masterclass, and I hope to see you there.
And also, what's your website?
The website is ReneeLoveCoach.com. And it's Renee, RENEE, lovecoach.com.
And do you have any social media handles? Do you use any social media? You have a Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called Love at Last.
Love at Last. Okay. We'll put all actually everything on the screen so it's easy to basically follow that. Again, Dr. Renee, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Like I said, you are a well-known person. You are very, lived in a glamorous life. You're still living a glamorous life, and you take your time to come here and, talk all that about. So thank you very much. I appreciate
merci, Hodafis.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for listening, Knowledge Seeker Podcast. If this conversation resonated with you, please share with someone who are on their journey to finding love. And also find more information about Dr. Renee Gordon books. We will link the information on the screen. Once again, thank you for listening. Until then, we'll see you next time. Keep seeking.